Hey cutie. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Laura. Hi, hello, welcome. If you don't know, I am a little bit crazy when it comes to tracking my makeup. I actually have a makeup diary, and I write down my makeup every time I do my makeup. I write it down, or at least 95% of the time I do my makeup, I write my makeup down. I track all of my makeup down that I use every single time I sit down and do my makeup, whether it's an eyeshadow only day or a full face kind of makeup day. So I actually wrote down and have tracked every single product that I used in the month of September. And I'm excited to share what I used the most, kind of give you my top option, least option in different usage thresholds. So I used 54 different items in the month of September. That does not include skincare or body care, anything like that. I'm strictly talking makeup. I reached for a whole heck of a lot of products in the course of the month, but I like that because that just means I have used the majority, or not the majority of my collection, but I've used my collection, and I don't feel guilty when I have certain things kind of not getting used one month and maybe the next month it gets a load of use, that kind of thing. So I like writing this down and kind of touching base and just letting you know how much of my collection I really did use, like the 54 items of makeup products alone that I used this month. I have these separated in categories of the items I used one time, items I used 8 times, items I used different thresholds. So in this video, I'm just going to touch on my least favorite and most favorite item that I used in the different usage thresholds. That way, I'm not talking about 54 different items. We're only talking about 12 items. So it's like the checkout lane, 12 items or less. The express condensed version of what I liked and didn't like this month. We'll start things off with the items I only used one time in the month. There was a lot of items. There was 22 items that I used one time within the month. And I do have my least favorite and most favorite options written down as like I mentioned. I like to leave the best for last, so we'll start with the least favorite options first, and then we'll talk about the most, the favorite options after that. So my least favorite one-use item that I reached for this month is actually this AOA lip liner. This is a retractable lip pencil. This is in the shade Cuddle. I thought this would be a good replacement for a different lip product in a Project Pan, and it's not quite it. It's a little bit more, it's kind of like that spaghetti sauce lips where you maybe a lip, it's stained the lips rather than you have a dedicated lip liner on. So this is just an okay product. It's not my favorite, and I'm happy that I didn't spend a ton of money. It's an AOA product, so it's not a lot of money, and I feel like I could finish this in a reasonable amount of time. Now, alternatively, I do have one of my a current favorite product was reached for one time. So it kind of seems silly that it was in my current faves video, but I only reached for it one time this month. And I just feel like I was focusing on other products. However, this is usually something that goes in my handbag if I am running out to an event. We go to a lot of concerts, so this is constantly an item that goes with me to concerts. And this is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Shift. I have mine in the shade Kiwi. It is the green one. It's just one of those pH balancing lip products. This has a really, really wonderful tingle. If you don't like tingle, you'll hate this, but I really like a tingly sensation for lip products, and I really, really like this one in particular, but I only reached for this one time, which kind of actually shocked me when I was taking my tallies. It shocked me that I only reached for this once. The next largest chunk of products we had is by 2-use categories. So I had 8 items that I used 2 times this month. And again, I have my favorite versus my least favorite in here. And we'll talk about my least favorite first. And that's actually this here. This is the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow Heat. Now, this is a really beautiful color. I actually really enjoyed this. However, as of late, I feel like I've identified this might be drying out my lips because I've been reaching for it. I feel like I've been reaching for it more than 2 times. My list only says 2 times. That's how much I wrote. I might have grabbed it here and there just to touch up, or when I went to a concert, that kind of thing. But I feel like this might be drying out my lips. So I just want to pay a little bit more attention to this gloss bomb in particular. My favorite item is actually one of my favorite concealers in my collection right now. That is the NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer, and I have the shade Vanilla. I really, really enjoy this product. It's very, very creamy, very hydrating kind of concealer. If you have oily skin, you probably would not like this. This definitely is creamier. Really nice for me for my under eyes. I really like this. I only reached for this 2 times, but that's because I'm focusing and trying to finish up a different concealer that's not my favorite, but I can't wait to when I get to reach for this. And again, there's not a ton of product in here, so I feel like I could finish this when I give myself the okay to just like really drill into this. That's all my 2 uses items. Then I have the next portions of items are all kind of grouped into like this to this many uses. Next, we have the items I use 3 to 5 times, so still pretty low in the amount of uses. So essentially like a week of use is how I think about it. I go to work 5 days a week. It's kind of like a work week. So my favorite item in the 3 to 5 use category is actually this eyeliner here. This is the Essence Stay and Play. Is that what that is? Yeah, Stay and Play gel eyeliner in the shade Silky Nude. This is just a really nice nude colored eyeliner, as you would think. It's just a nice light nude. It looks good in the waterline. It has a pretty good staying power. I don't really care about the longevity of my waterline in tight line shades. I kind of have come to terms with there's nothing that's really going to stay on the lids like that for me. So I'm not going to beat myself up and go for like a super expensive option when like a very inexpensive option does the trick just fine. My favorite item, let's talk about favorite first, because I feel like let's just switch it up a bit. So my favorite item, my least favorite product in that chunk of 3 to 5 uses is going to be this guy here. This is a stick concealer from AOA. This is the green stick concealer. It's just in an undertone that can tend to turn a little purpley. It's definitely a cooler toned green concealer. So it can turn the skin a not so favorable shade. So I think this might be something I end up decluttering. It's just something that's I'm not really going to want to fuss around and try to make work. It just doesn't really work, and I'm okay with that. Man, maybe I'm just gonna declutter this. I'm just gonna declutter that. There is something just so freeing when you just allow yourself to declutter a product that's really not going to work for you. Ooh, that felt good. Ooh. Then we move on to my 6 to 9 use category, because that was like my next largest chunk of products. That section has 7 products, again, same as the 3 to 5 uses. I have a product I've been really putting my focus on to try to use more. That's actually my least favorite item right now, and that is this guy here. This is the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF3. It's a super deep lip pencil. My issue is that it's just drying out, and so the color, like the pencil part, actually comes out. So I just need to really streamline and like put a pedal to the metal on using this, but that is the shade. It's a very deep chocolatey brown. It's very beautiful. I did have it on earlier today on top of my other products. It's probably likely worn off by now. This is something that I can wear. I wear very lightly, but this has been my ride or die office lip color. So I put this on, and then I'll put another product we'll talk about in a moment on with it, and that's been my like office go-to lip look. It's very neutral, very easy to just slap this on and put my other product on, and then feel very cohesive for my entire day at work. Something I actually wasn't expecting to put as my favorite product in this grouping. However, because we're kind of grouping this in weird ways where like some items are just combined with items that I wouldn't necessarily put together, but my favorite item in this grouping is actually this setting powder, and this is the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur Translucent Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. And this was given to me for free when I worked at Ulta. My manager had gifted this to me, but I didn't expect to like this nearly as much as I do. It is a really beautiful setting powder. My only qualm or issue I have with this is it does set the powders, or like set your products down a little bit deeper than when you put it on your skin. In some cases, that's really what I needed, which is why I reached for this so much this month. There is a couple shades that are too light for me that I was reaching for earlier this month, and using something like this over it really did help the color turn into a color that made a little bit more sense on my skin. But I really liked this. I really truly did like this. Now, it's not like a translucent. It definitely deepened the foundation. So if you're fairer than me, I don't think you'll like this, but it was pretty darn nice. Now, I don't know if this is something that I'll reach for in the winter and get so much use out of, because again, it is an ultra blurring, so it's very mattifying, and I don't need mattifying in the winter as much as I do in the summer. We're finally at the threshold where we've used items over 10 times now. I didn't have anything that I used exactly 10 times, so we jumped to 12 to 17 uses next. I had 5 products within that 12 to 17 category. My least favorite is that product that's been part of my like lip wardrobe staple, and that's this lip gloss right here. This is the Fenty Beauty Mini Gloss Bomb in the shade Champ Stamp Fantasy, and I have been really focusing on this product over the past couple months, especially this past month, and I've been making a lot of progress, as you can see. Now I'm getting to the point where I can start feeling more of the glitter particles, and that's kind of why I've ranked this so much lower in the items this month. This is definitely something I am focusing on in October, and really going to try to get out of my collection in October, because I can start feeling that grittiness in the lip application. And if you're new to my channel, I always call that feeling like the backwash of lip gloss, and it really grosses me out, and I really don't want to put it on my lips at that point. So I'll probably end up getting to like halfway or lower of what's left, and then I'll call this done. My favorite product that I've been using in the 12 to 17 uses is this loose blush here. This is a Bare Minerals loose blush in the shade Awestruck. I actually, I took the bottom out of this and put all of the product in the lid. So what I have left is just what's in that lid, which makes me so happy, because this is something that I can finish within like a week's time. I really was trying to get this finished up in September, but unfortunately I did not make it. I'm filming this on the 29th. There's only one day left, and there's enough product in there for a good 3 or 4 uses. Well, not unfortunately. Moving to my last chunk of products, this is my most used category. This is the 18 uses to 20 uses. Very happy about that. And it's hard to pick a least favorite in this category, because I like all of the products that I reach for this many times. Obviously, I'm reaching for them because I enjoy them, not because I dislike them. However, this product is something that I'm reaching for really just to reach for, and that's mainly why it's my least favorite in this realm, in this grouping of products this month. That is this Fenty Beauty Liquid Killawatt in the shade Sidechick. This is just a step that I no longer really do in my makeup routine. This is a cream highlight, a liquid highlight, so it's just something that's a little bit more of an extra step now. There was a point where I used to always want to do a liquid highlight like this, and those days have come and gone. I now feel totally happy with just my powder highlights and maybe like a slightly glowy base, but I don't need a product like this to get my base into where I want it to be before I put this on. So it's just kind of a redundant step in my collection anymore. So I'm using it up just to use it up. My favorite product in that 18 to 20 uses comes from my Ofra Feelin' Myself Trio Highlight Palette. And it's funny that my least favorite in that grouping is a liquid highlight, but my most favorite in there is my powder highlight. And this is the shade Rodeo Drive, again, from the Ofra Feelin' Myself trio. It's just such a great shade. I've really allowed myself and given myself the permission to use that shade now that it's in my end of year project pan, which I will link. The update for that should be coming next week or in the next couple weeks for my end of year project pan if you're curious how things are going in that project. But I've really been happy that I've given myself the okay to reach for a product like this in any capacity. I'm someone that habitually saves the best for last, so out of these three shades, Rodeo Drive is currently my absolute favorite in this palette, and I've been forcing myself to use these two shades, and having this in my end of year project pan to really focus on that shade has just really sparked enjoyment in my makeup routine again, and I really look forward to doing my makeup every single day now. And before, when I was forcing myself to use products that maybe I wasn't enjoying as much, really did make me not want to use makeup nearly as much as I am again in September. But that is it for my most used makeup in September. I don't have like a real clear standout product, a number 1 and like a number 54, so to speak, but if you want to see my current favorites, I would link and highly recommend you go check out my current fave. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're staying healthy, sane, and safe, and I will see you on Friday in my empties video. And until then, I hope you guys are staying healthy, sane, and safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!
Hi, sweet stuff. Hi, sweet baby. You lost weight, Missy. You used to be much chubbier. Is your medication working well?